成3个字的话，表示呢，我觉得你没画完。你呢可以自己呢去把它补充完毕之后呢，再拿来给我加分，这样听懂吗？那你要是觉得那个分数你就已经 OK 了，也可以的，看你自己好不好？来，先拿到自己的作业。哎，那个还想睡觉的去洗把脸。哎，我们等一下呢是 Irene 的观课时间哦，大家配合一下，来坐好。Irene， your turn. Thank you.
The word optic. Optic is something to do with your eyes, what you see. Okay. So, in terms of the art, it's an art that tricks your eyes. Okay, it's like magic. Okay, for example. Okay, for example, this picture. What do you see? Is it a bridge or is it ship, right? Or maybe a bridge. Yeah, so you don't know. So it's an optical illusion art because it's something that fools your eye. So we will learn about this kind of art technique, how to create an optical illusion art. Okay. So the first technique, it was a long time ago. Let's start this technique first. So this technique is called trompe-l'œil. It's from French word. The meaning is the trick the eye. It's an art technique that makes a 2D, two-dimension painting. 2D means flat surface. But then it makes it look like a 3D, three-dimension, meaning like this is 3-dimension. You can touch it. So the famous painter during that time is Andrea Manteca. He's an Italian artist. Yeah. So his famous work is called the Oculus. So why is famous? Because at that time, most of the painting is through 2D, right? 2-dimension. But he drew this on top of the ceiling. So when people see, it looks like a ceiling, like a roof. But actually it's just a painting. So he's considered as the forefather of the art of painting with illusional magic. And then he's a pioneer of using perspective. Anybody knows what perspective means? Perspective is how you look at things. You look at it from this side, you look like this, or you look at this way. Yeah, that's called perspective. So in this case, his drawing, it gives the viewer that actually you're looking at the book, but it's actually just a flat painting. So far so good? Yeah. Okay, next. So these are the other types of trompe-l'œil arts. So 3D, right? Like this guy, Bruno Logan. He drew an apple, looks really real, right? It looks like it's actual apple, but it's not. And then this one, he drew a sculpture. So it's really a painting. It's not a sculpture. But he used the technique, if you look at carefully, this black, it has a reflection, showing that this sculpture is in front of a mirror. But it's just a technique to make it look real. And this one, seems like the boy is coming out of the frame, right? But actually it's just a painting. So this is a trompe-l'œil art. Okay so far? Okay. Let's move on to the next one. Another way of creating this optical illusion art is by what is called op art or optical art. So what you do, it's an abstract art movement from the 1960s. And it uses geometric patterns. Geometric means you draw a square, circle, triangle, right? using that kind of pattern and the color, we play with the color to create illusion. Sometimes like this, it's actually flat, but looks like it's wavy, right? Or maybe this one, seems like there's a hole, but actually it's not. Let's see the artist. So, two famous artists of this art. The first one is Victor Vasarely. The first one, this one, Zebra. This is his famous painting. Because of this painting, he became very popular. And he's considered as the father of this kind of art, the pioneer, because he's so popular with this type of art. And then there's also another lady, Bridget Riley. This is her famous art. So if you see, this is just a painting, but if you look at it closely, it looks like the square is going inwards, right? It's going inside of this area. And then another technique is called impossible shapes. Impossible shapes, the painter or the artist tries to draw it to make our brain confused. So that's the intention of the artist. So for example, this triangle, there's a guy here. Is he at the bottom or is he at the top? What do you think? You can see it as he is at the top, but you can also see it as if he's at the bottom, right? For this person. And then for this drawing hands, which hand is drawing which? Is this hand drawing this hand or this hand is drawing this hand? So it makes your brain confused. So that's another technique. This three is created by this guy called Moritz Cornel Escher. So his style is creating impossible shapes to confuse people's minds. So far okay? Alright, let's move on. There's another guy, Robert Gonsalves. He's Canadian. And his theme, he likes to create two worlds, two different worlds in a painting. For example, this one. It's like, are you in the forest or are you actually in the big city? And then, yeah, like here, are you playing by the lake or are you actually in the city? Right? And another two of his drawing. So this is his style. So far so okay? Okay, let's move on. Because I like this kind of style, so I put more pictures, okay? So also Octavio Ocampo. So he's drawing Lily, the flower. But the way he draw, you can also see another picture, right? What do you see? It's a lady, right? A lady. And this person, Venus Ruin, he drew very realistic style of this art. So it's impossible shape. Is it on the paper or actually it's actually a card? And then there's this guy too, Oleg Shipman. And he draws two pictures in a painting. Right? You can see a big human head or the farmer who's drawing, right? This picture, I don't know who drew it, but it looks impossible too, right? You think he's on top of the cube, but then he has a ladder too. How did he sit over there? Okay. The modern art, right now is super popular, is the street art. So in Shanghai shopping mall, there's this painter, Edgar Müller. He drew this kind of waterfall, but it's actually in the shopping mall. But it looks really real, right? And then this one, this whole thing is actually a building. So this is a wall. But then the artist is drawing something. It looks like a bridge, but it's actually a wall. And then this picture is a street art. But it looks like somebody fell down, but actually it's not. Okay, but optical illusion is more than just a painting. So the first one, I will ask you. This woman, is it young or old? How How many of you that see this picture as a young lady? Raise your hand. How many of you see as an old lady? This one? Okay, so this picture is a matter of perspective, how you see things. Okay, for the one who see it as an old lady, how you see it, think of this line as the eyelashes. So you will start seeing as a young lady, right? But then the one who see as an old lady, think of this area is the nose. So you will see it as an old lady. So it's a matter of perspective. Okay. Another question for you. There are two dogs, right? Top and bottom. Which dog is darker color? Top or bottom? Who say top? Raise your hand. Darker color. How about lighter color? Or the same? The same. How do you know the same? If you really close this, you will see the same color, right? The illusion is when you put white color here, you will think it's lighter color, but it's not. Well, good job, it's the same. How about this one? Which one is longer? The horizontal lines. Is it the top one, bottom, or the very bottom? Who say the top? The top. How about the middle? How about the bottom? How about the same? The same. Oh, you guys are all smart. It's the same. Because it's called the Müller-Lyer illusion. Sometimes when you see this, you might think it's longer, but it's not. Okay. Good. Now, but it's more than a painting. So it's more than two-dimensional art, right? So I will show you two videos. What is the mind-blowing optical illusion? And it will tell you how they create the art. Okay. You need Chinese subtitles? Always subtitle, okay?
Flat third dimension. Nothing appears abnormal about this Rubik's Cube until you realize it is a two-dimensional image. This illusion is created with a distorted perspective of an image that requires to be viewed at a specific vantage point to create the 3D effect. This is the same method used in the very popular 3D sidewalk art. The Ames Room. The Ames Room illusion creates a cartoonish and very intriguing effect of drastic size differences between people and objects. By tricking our depth perception with an irregular shaped room, the walls, ceiling, and floor align in a way that will appear normal at just the right angle. This causes everything else in the room to appear to warp in size. Following eyes. Here is a simple but very effective illusion that makes it look like these little guys are watching you. This is done by manipulating the way you see perspective and the brain's natural ability to pick out faces and patterns. The head is actually concave, and this sets up a contradiction in your brain to make it look like it's turning to follow you. The dress. Whether you see black and blue or white and gold, this dress has caused debate and confusion. Though the dress is indeed black and blue, it has become a popular example of color constancy. Depending on individual perception, as well as current room lighting, the dress can be seen as either black and blue or white and gold. Circle illusion. It is easy to assume that these dots are moving in a circular pattern. However, they are not. Each dot is traveling in a straight line while on its own path from one end of the circle to the other. By adding each dot one by one, you can see the illusion come into place. Motion illusions. These images are not animated, but they appear to be moving due to the cognitive effects of interacting color contrasts and shape positioning. If you're feeling skeptical, pause this video and watch as these images continue to wave, twist, and pulse. Animation illusion. This clever and old-timey technique creates a multiple frame animation on a single sheet of paper. By manipulating the mind and eye, these still images come to life using a simple graded card. Drop-off room. This 3D painted room is enough to trigger one's acrophobia, as it seems to be a massive drop-off. This painting was created by master of optical illusions, Regina Silveira, whose work often contains a larger-than-life bent reality. Yes, no. Artist Marcus Race specializes in optical illusions with his mind-manipulating 3D creations. A prime example of his work is this sculpture of the word yes. It can be read from one angle, but moved to another angle and it morphs into the word no. Backwards chair. This chair appears as normal as a chair can be at first glance, but just wait till this man has a seat. It might feel surreal at first, but this chair is actually built in a warped and irregular way that makes it look like it is facing one way, but in fact, it is facing the other way.
So you can create your optical illusion that way, depending on how you see things, okay? And then I have another video. There are some tricks that you can try within you can try with your friends whether it's true or not. So if you love this one. Okay.
The pink straw on the left looks much smaller than the one on the right.
Smaller.
In reality, they're exactly the same size. Take a look at this drawing and see if you can count the number of grey dots. As you try to focus on the grey dots, they'll vanish right in front of your eyes. Ask someone to put their hands together and extend their two first fingers.
And see if it's
After their
true.
first fingers go round about an inch apart. Now gently circle around their fingers, asking them to imagine a loop of thread becoming tighter and tighter. Amazingly, their fingers will drift together. The lines in this grid are parallel to one another. However, if you move some of the rows to the side, the lines suddenly seem to slide up and down. In reality, they're still exactly parallel. The red shape and the black shape look completely different.
They are the same.
They're exactly the same size. Ask someone to hold their hand against
So you can
yours,
try to
and
with
then
your
using the thumb and first finger of their other hand to stroke the two first fingers. They will feel as if their first finger is completely numb. Take a look at this drawing. It appears to be a rabbit looking to your right.
Here, if you see this way, it's a duck. But if you tilt your head like this, it's a
As your brain
rabbit.
tries to figure out what's going on,
This is
take
the
a look at
rabbit.
the two squares that the black arrowheads are pointing to. The top square looks much darker than the lower one. This illusion is created by the area surrounding each square. This is simply a piece of paper that two holes cut out, but it allows us to mask off the surroundings. And suddenly you can see that the squares are indeed identical. A piece of paper marked A looks much bigger than a piece of paper marked B. However, for B below A, now B is larger. Amazingly, in reality, they're exactly the same size.
That's your eye.
Now stand at the center of the spiral.
So look at the middle, or
Don't take your eyes off the center of the spiral.
so keep looking at the middle.
Keep on staring at the spiral. Keep staring at the center of the spiral.
And keep looking.
And
And
now look at the back of your
then
hand.
look at your hand. And if it happens, look at your hand. Maybe this is something for. Okay, and that's all my presentation of the day. Thank you.
好，接下来愿意帮我们分享，每次呢都有这么棒的一些补充。好，你们刚刚